Welcome, everyone. It's always a pleasure, a joy, a privilege, and an honor to spend time with you, to be with you in this way. This is a dream come true. Welcome to the Science of Mind. The Science of Mind is a correlation of the laws of science, the opinions of philosophy, the revelation of religions applied to human need, and the aspirations of humankind. It is the study of life and the nature of the laws of thought. The conception that we live in a spiritual universe, that God is in us, around us, and for us, and there is nothing against us. In fact, Dr. Holmes says that there is nothing supernatural anywhere on any plane. He says, that which today appears supernatural, when it is fully understood, appears spontaneously natural. End of quote. So today I want to share with you an experience that came out of my experience, that came out of the Asilomar conference in 2002. That's what, 18 years ago? I went to that and I had something really appear to me inside of me. And I created this sermon out of that. The topic, the theme for that year was serving the sacred. And so here we go. I titled our topic today, Represencing the Presence. I hope you could understand that little bit of a riddle. Represencing the presence. And I want to read also from page 183 in Science of Mind. Dr. Holmes says the philosophy of spiritual mind healing is based upon the conception that we are living in a universe of intelligence, a spiritual universe, that thoughts are things, that definite states of consciousness, as they become subjective, operate through a creative field and tend to reproduce themselves in form. Therefore, it logically follows that this system of treatment is for the purpose of let me say that again. It is logical to follow that this form of treatment is for the purpose of overcovering and neutralizing the wrong states of thought, of building in mind a concept of our spiritual birthright. Thought which is built upon a realization of divine presence has the power to neutralize negative thought, to erase it, just as light has the power to overcome darkness, not by combating darkness, but by being exactly what it is, light. And the light shineth, here he quotes the Bible, and the light shineth in the darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. He said, their spiritual mind treatment does not concern itself with unpleasant conditions, nor with not what is imperfect manifestations, either in one's body or in one's affairs. Treatment is for the purpose of inducing the interior awareness, an inner realization in the mind of the practitioner, pertaining to the spiritual perfection of the person for whom he or she is working. So the most powerful state of consciousness, he says, one can adopt is thought which is built upon a realization of divine presence. Thought which is a realization of divine presence has the power to neutralize negative thought, to erase it, just as light has the power to overcome darkness, not by combating it, not by combating darkness, but by being exactly what it is. The light shineth in the darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. Do you see what this man is saying? That we don't have to fight anything. We don't have to try to combat anything. We simply have to let our light shine, to let the light that we are, the light that makes us light up the world. A practitioner is not a case worker. It's not doing something about something for God. God or spirit has no needs, not even worship or adoration. Spirit is self-existent, first cause, life, love, the great creator and the sustainer of the universe. There's no need. We have to act out of love. We have to act out of our sense of wholeness. Serving as a practitioner is being the presence of what we believe. That's why I titled it Represencing the Presence. We have to represence the presence of spirit in the world. The greatest example can be found in John 18, that's in the Bible. And it says, ye are the light of the world. Ye are the salt of the earth. Let your light so shine as the light of the world. Matthew 5. We are the salt of the world. We are the salt of the earth. Do you know what? Your presence gives flavor to life. If you think of yourself as the salt that's missing in a wonderful dish, well prepared, when you add the salt, how does that dish become? Probably the best thing you ever tasted. Ye are the salt that shineth the light. You're the light that shines in the darkness. Dr. Holmes on page 206 says, unless a seed is planted, no plant will be reproduced. Are you planting seeds? This topic of serving the sacred really struck me in a lot of ways, and I'm sharing with you what came about as a result. Dr. Holmes says, he who knows of the power, or he who knows the power with which he is dealing and plants a seed of thought in subjectivity, know that it will come up and bear fruit. That's on page 291. Do you know what you represent? Do you know that you are a seed to someone's awakening? Are you presenting yourself as that? What is it that we really believe in the science of mind? He who knows of the power with which he is dealing and plants a seed of thought in subjectivity. Subjectivity means the activity of the subconscious mind, the activity of the super subconscious mind that created this universe in all its wisdom. The same subconscious mind that you individualized in a unique and special way. When you activate that for something good, it's starting to bear fruit right away. It's the greatest seed you'll ever plant. You see, we are divine gardeners in the field of human consciousness. Human consciousness is like a garden for us to tend. We are divine gardeners in the field of human consciousness. We are lights in the darkness of the human drama, the darkness of human fear. What better opportunity do we have than right now to be the light, to shine the light, to be the seed? Do you know how many people are walking around with fear? Do you know how many people are can't sleep at night. Do you know how many people are grieving the loss of a loved one? Thousands, thousands and thousands of people. Over 50,000 people have died as a result of the virus. Think about if they only had one person each to grieve over their loss, that'd be 50,000 people grieving. And almost everyone has at least 2 or 3 people who would grieve their loss, and a lot more. We need to be shining up. We need to be really thinking about what we really believe. We are called to live as models of possibilities. How are you modeling possibilities? Gene Houston talks about the people who believe in possibilities, how their life expands and explodes into goodness, beneficial goodness, beneficial to the world around them. We are living out of the abundance of our own being. As gardeners of the soul, what we seed, what are we planting? What seeds are we sowing? Seeds of love grow into blossoms of love, not fear. Seeds of joy, not sorrow. Seeds of grace, not demand. Seeds of compassion, not anger. Seeds of peace, not war. Seeds of oneness, not separation. Seeds of life, not death. What are we doing with this wonderful philosophy that we have identified ourselves with, that has liberated us to live a life of peace, joy, prosperity, and abundance? How are we sharing this great, wonderful philosophy that the world is dying, literally dying to hear, to understand, to receive? I'm inviting all of us to start right now. If you started, refresh that start. Restart that. Learn how to re-presence the presence in a new and more powerful way. This is how we take our message out to the world. That's serving the sacred. Excuse me. It is not by taking ourselves out to the world to represent what we believe. It is really represencing the one presence that alone can bring peace, wholeness, healing, and life. How well do we practice? How are we practicing at being the presence? You know, these are the things that really struck me. And I could tell you that after that experience at Asilomar in 2002, something really shifted for me. And it is powerful. Light, Holmes says, light has the power to overcome darkness, not by combating darkness. Are you hearing what's contained in that statement? Life has the power to overcome darkness, not by combating darkness, but by being exactly what it is, light. Light. And the light shineth in the darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. That's in the Bible. What happens if you really saw yourself as light in the darkness? Is there anything darker than what's going on in our world today? Do you know that this world has never seen something like this before? Even in the plague, when they used to have that in the Old Testament, as it was mentioned. This is global. Nowhere in the world is spared the smallest islands and the largest countries in the world. The United States is said to be the most populated nation. How are we populating the world with our light? What if our military was sent as light beings, not to combat, but to shine the light, to shine love, to shine oneness, joy, peace, compassion, and grace? What if our military was sent out that way? I think we'd be really the most powerful nation in the world, because we'll bring about change that everybody wants. No exception. There isn't a person in the world who doesn't want to be happy, to be fulfilled, to feel peace, to feel joy, and to not be fearful. You know, remember 9/11? 9/11 gave us the world, and I remember so clearly what happened in my mind. 9/11 gave us and the world the most powerful opportunity to a world conference, to invite people to a world conference of spiritual and religious leaders for the purpose of shining the light. The United States missed the opportunity. We had an opportunity at that point, because everybody was looking at us, was compassionate for us, was caring about us, was calling the leaders and talking about us. What if we had this in mind at that time, and we stepped up to invite a world conference for world leaders to sit in prayer and discover the light that we all can be? You know, when we talk about things like this, people get their buttons pushed. When good timing is totally absent, they get their buttons pushed. It is not about setting people off. It's not about upsetting people either. And yet, everyone is possible. Everyone is possible, responsible for their own sensitivity and engagement. So if you get the buttons pushed, listen to what somebody said in response to that. Someone said at the Silmar conference, "I may have pushed your button, but I did not install it." I'll never forget that. Too many of us, too many people in the world installed their hot button and keep it warm all the time, ready for someone to press on it so they could. It's like the red button they used to have on phones years ago. The whole button. You know, I'm inviting all of us today. I'm challenging myself and everyone. Let us together serve the sacred by making our service sacred. I'm not talking about the Sunday morning service once a week. Our life is the salt of the earth, the light of the world. That's our service. Through practicing, representing of the 7 words that I shared with you. These are 7 great healing words, and here they are. Love, joy, grace, compassion, peace, oneness. Seeds of life. These are the seeds of life. This week, let's make a commitment that we're going to spend at least one full day between now and next Sunday. At least one full day of the 7 weeks, of the 7 days, really being conscious of the presence. You know, Holmes says the world needs spiritualization. if we spent one full day of spiritual realization, we can change what's going on. The leaders would have the wisdom to help solve the issue. I'm talking about science, the medical science, the other forms of research and scientists. The leaders of every nation will be inspired to find a solution and to overcome any other whatever it is called, pandemic that could ever be placed upon us on a global level. Are you willing to take that challenge? I saw 5 heads move. I'm watching for the heads. Good. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you all. This is what I really got from that 2002. That's a long time ago. And it has struck me ever since. And now it seems it has risen again in a new way. So join me as we work together to be the salt of the earth, to add flavor to people's lives. Namaste. Let us read again. I am going to read this and I want you to just listen, because when we read aloud together, we sort of get tied up. The affirmation. What if you made this affirmation real in your life this week? Today, I know the divine presence as the one universal wholeness is omnipresent in and through its creation. That universal wholeness is present right here and right now for all humanity. It is the life of all life, the well-being of all life, and the vitality of all life. In that life, there is perfect harmony and complete wholeness. I know these divine qualities are being expressed in and through each human body and in each human's life throughout the world. I feel its presence active in my physical body and in my mind. I know that every organ, every action, and every function is vitalized with and by that perfect wholeness. There is perfect circulation, perfect assimilation, and perfect elimination. There is no inaction, no confusion, no congestion. I am one with that infinite rhythm of life which flows through me in love, in harmony, and in peace. I know there is only one life. That life is spirit. That life is perfect. And that life is my life now. And so it is. What if we lived up to this today? And I'm inviting you to at least do one day in this week, in this consciousness, because we can get to where the help really is. Okay? I love you all. Thank you very much. God bless.